If you have ever found yourself in a maintenance meeting and you get handed this piece of paper and they tell you to follow along, or they start telling you to explain what's going on and what priorities are you setting for the day, you're in the right place. Today I'm going to be breaking down the equipment status report. I'm going to be breaking it down how I see it, the questions I would ask, and be pointing out a lot of the numbers, the letters, the meanings to help build clarity and understanding of what's going on and what all this actually means in there. We'll be using an old ESR, however, there's still a lot of value and information that we could pull that can be pulled from it. And the benefit of understanding what's going on will actually help save time, set priorities for the day, help provide ownership and accountability, which will ultimately lead to creating readiness. That is the focus. So when we hear ESR, or when you are in a setting of a maintenance meeting, whether it be at company level, battalion level, or brigade and higher, when you hear, hey, we're doing an ESR scrub, about 90% of the time it is a default ESR scrub. When I say default ESR, when you're inside GSS Army and you go and you pull this report or run this report, it will be automatic default setting to search for a few things. And the automatic default setting we're going to talk about today. So the automatic default setting, and the way to tell what type of ESR you will be looking at, is up here at the top left hand corner. So in this top left hand corner, it's going to tell the story of what type of ESR we're being pulled. So this ESR is operational status, so it's looking for NMCS, non-mission capable maintenance supply. So meaning it's searching for anything that is broken that has parts on order. It's also going to be searching for non-mission capable maintenance, anything that's NMCM, meaning that you have all parts on hand and it's waiting for a maintenance action to be done. Typically it means all parts on hand and it's waiting for a maintenance action to be done. Sometimes it can mean something else. NMCMs are typically not our friends. And then it's pulling the tech status. So what is the tech status? So as we look over here, this is our tech status. We have an X, an E, and a CX. So what does that mean? Well, X is no good, deadline. E is admin, deadline. And CX is circle X. And your tech statuses are identified over here, right here, these guys. So that's the X. And here's another X. Here's another X, and here's another X, and here's another X, and here's another X. So those are the types tech status. If I would to have an admin deadline, you would see a little stop sign and it would say stop, and that's your tech status column. Or if you were to have a circle X, I'll draw one out real quick because it's X with a circle. That's what it'll actually look like. It's pretty cool. And that just means that it's a deadline that's been circle X. So that is your top. So that is the type of ESR that we are looking at now. There's different filters and variants you could create. So let's say if I want to see slash faults or diagonals as well, I could add that into my filter before I run or pull my ESR and it will populate there. So that right there is one of the first things I'm looking at. So I know what type of ESR I'm being pulled. As I stated earlier, this is an older ESR, so the date and the time are totally different. However, again, the information and the value we're going to pull out of this will be able to help. So a few things to know. So a few things to know. So as we look over here, we got our UIC. So this is our UIC, Whiskey, Charlie, Quebec, Alpha, Alpha. So that's how those are related to. We got our model number. So our model number, we're looking at an Atlas. That's that right there. We got our order number. So this guy over here, let me clean this up a little. Hello. Hey.
Don't I have to get fitted for the costume?
I thought that was at 7 because you have class right now.
I thought it was at 6.
No. They said after class.
To be honest, I'd rather do it right now before it gets all crazy.
Okay. I'll be over in a minute.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Everything went well. She got fitted. We got her costume set up. Let's get back to the ESR. So as we were talking about before, we have the ESR in front of us. We already discussed let's go look at this few things. We already discussed the UICs. We already discussed the UICs and where they're located. We got another ESR in front of us, so let's back up. There we go. So we already discussed the UICs we have here located. We talked about the deadlines, what they are, the X's. Now let's continue to work our way through the ESR. When we look at this, we have our admin number, headquarters 1. It's our serial number for that vehicle. And this is a NMCM, non-mission capable maintenance. Non-mission capable maintenance. So one thing to have or to look for when you have NMCMs is you want to ensure that what is it NMCM for, and it should have an estimated completed date. Should doesn't populate automatically. A lot of the times people think that these remarks that get added are added automatically. No, those remarks have to be manually inputted. So it is important not to assume that that's automatically going to get there. So let's get back to headquarters 1. So we're looking at the headquarters 1, and we notice that it is NMCM, non-mission capable maintenance. It shows that we ordered 2 parts, quantity ordered right up here, and we issued 2 parts, quantity issued right there. So we know we have all the parts on hand. And the estimated completion date that they said this will be done is 18 February 2026. Now we want to highlight something. So you told me it's supposed to be done by 18 Feb. And right now we're past 18 Feb. It's 24 Feb. So we should be asking as a maintenance manager, as a shop foreman, team chief, or someone who oversees the maintenance, we should be figuring out what the problem is. How come we didn't get completed on this date? And if we were not going to get it completed, did we notify the proper leadership? And why did we not adjust the date already? If it was 18 Feb and today's 24 Feb, how come that didn't get done? As you could see, they answer the question right here. It's deferred status, because that's what all these statuses and all these codes mean something. So right now they told us, looking at this report, it's non-mission capable maintenance, it's deferred status, and it won't be completed till 18th February. Well, something is wrong in here. They need to figure out exactly what's happening. And it's been down for 141.88 days. And let's move on. Let's see if we can find another one we looked at here. So the one, HHD4, SAR submitted 16 December, and this is a weird number right there. So you might be asking yourself, what is SAR submitted? Supply action requests. You submit SARs when you look back over here. So we're going to go back to the top. So this SOS up top stands for source of supply. So when you have a source of supply, of SMS, so right here, this is our source of supply. When you have a source supply of SMS, you could submit a SAR, a supply action request. And that's what they did. Our guidance is 30 days out. So it's within the guidance. So it's 30 days out. It's BB, back ordered. And it says expedited delivery date 27 March 26. So that's what they're telling us. This is the SAR number that goes associated when they went on the website and they submitted a SAR, and it has the date SAR submitted. So this remark is excellent to have and good to see. It tells the story without calling anyone or sending out an email. So I would call this one as good. Let's keep digging on. Let's move on, see if we can find a few more. I'm just going to go through some more. Now we're just going to recap. So let's recap on today's let's recap today on the ESR and what we've went over and learned. So we learned that this is our UIC. So that's what it stands for. This is the company that it represents. And then we have our model number, what type of status it's on. So it's a deadline. We identified that's NMCS, non-mission capable maintenance supply. We identified it does have parts on order. And we identified that the source supply, SMS, is our source supply, and that it's past 30 days out, and they submitted a SAR. So one thing they're missing here is the SAR number. So it says that is our CS210 response. So anything that's NMCS, it should have some type of remark. If it's BA, BB, or should have some type of remark, even if it's BZ or B7. A lot of the times with B7, BZs, or BBs, you won't get much movement or traction on them because typically it's back ordered or there's a price adjustment or there's a change. It's beyond our control. When we see BA, we like BA status. BA status means that everything's been funded. It's in process for shipment. Last thing to note for, which is very important, is your Ps. So your ERC type, your P status means pacing items. Those are the ones that are always going to be looked at the most because they want to know why this pacing item is down for so long. So when you start looking at pacing items, that's what affects your operational readiness rate when it comes to pacing items. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pacing items that are down, and we need to start looking at what are they down for, making sure all parts are in order and everything has been actioned that can be actioned. So looking at this ESR, and when you get handed this piece of paper, you should be now able to identify what should be a priority for the day. You should be able to identify what tasks need to get done and who needs to do it, and start putting ownership to these folks and figuring out, hey, where's my part status, or have we worked on it, or all the parts ordered. An example of what you don't want, and I'm going to show you here, it's nothing more frustrating if we have this part right here, or this bumper number, and we have all these parts listed on order. Let's see what we have here. We'll start. We have all these parts on order, so it looks like over 10 items. Nothing more or worse when all these parts come in and you're waiting on this one piece, this hose metallic, and you get that last piece in and they come to tell you that, hey, they still need more pieces. Super frustrating. Does it happen? Yes. Can it be avoided 85% of the time? Yes. So ensure when you got something like this, a laundry list of parts, that you have positive control of the parts and you have all the parts that you need. And you could go through and make sure it's nothing crazy. Hose assembly, non-metallic. I would ask that unit, what's so special about that hose assembly? Is that something we could fabricate? Is that something we could make at a local shop? Or is that a specific hose rated specifically for that specific vehicle? I hope this video helped. It was a quick rundown on how to read an ESR, how to get handed this piece of paper, know how to action it, know how to read it, know how to understand it. So it's not just a bunch of letters, numbers, and dashes and X's on a paper. If more information or details needed, feel free to shoot me a message, note, or comment. I'll be more than happy to jump on a Teams call and really deep dive even in more detail if you'd like. Until next time.